Hey gang. I think today we're going to do a super duper simple lesson. This is about as simple as it can get for doing chord tones. If you know at least a few of the notes on the guitar, you really should know. I'm going to wrap your knuckles if you haven't learned them yet. Learn the notes on the fretboard. I have a video up that does that one. Just practice that 5-minute exercise for a couple of weeks and you'll never have to do it again. This is probably the simplest of all the chord tone exercises, and it leads to other slightly more difficult exercises that also seem really simple, but they turn out more difficult than they actually seem. And it's this. Basically, the idea is to play chord tones, we're going to focus on the chords themselves, and we're going to play the root every time the chord comes by. So the first time through, we're going to play the root. In another exercise, once you get the roots down, then in the next exercise, you can do the thirds, then the fifths, then the sevenths, then the ninths, then the sixths, and you'll eventually be able to play any of those notes, which is super duper chord tones, right? You'll be very confident about it. But let's start out with the roots. So what I've done here is I've recorded the doo-wop on a looper. I've recorded the doo-wop chord progression, and I've done it in C. So in C, the doo-wop chord progression is C to an A minor to an F to a G, and then it repeats. Then it goes back to C. All right, so that's what I've got on the looper, and we're going to play it very, very slowly. We're going to pick one area of the fretboard. Let's just pick this area right here, and the idea is to play the roots every time the chord comes by. Let's listen to the chord progression once through if we can. So here it is right here. Okay, so that's it. You can hear that's the doo-wop, right? So again, it's C to A minor to F to G. So, and then back to C. Okay, so if we pick this area right here, our job right now is to find all the roots of all the chords in this area. Okay, so for example, let's go on the 6th string. We've got a C right here. We've got a C right here. We've got a C right here. So we've got 3 C's. Hopefully you can see that okay. Okay, so one on the 6th string, one on the 3rd string, one on the 1st string, the thinnest string. A minor. So we've got 3 A's. One right here on the 6th string, 5th fret. One right here on the 4th string, 7th fret. And one right here on the 1st string, 5th fret. So 3 A's. Okay, now it gets a little bit more difficult. We've got the F's now. Well, here's an F right here. You may not know that one. If you don't know it cold, you know what to do. Go to the exercise where you're learning the fretboard and learn the fretboard notes. This is an F right here on the 5th string, 8th fret. Okay, so that's an F. And this is an F right here. 2nd string, 6th fret. There's also an F right here, which we can grab down if we need to, on the 4th string, 3rd fret. So that works right there too. But we're going to try and confine ourselves to that. And then the G's. There's a G right here, and there's a G right here. So on the 4th string, 5th fret, and on the 2nd string, 8th fret. Those are the G's. Does that make sense to everybody? Hopefully that does. Now, and you also have a G that you can grab down here if you need to. All right, without going too much. But if we confine ourselves to these right here, then that's going to work. Now, here's how the exercise works. You're going to play one and only one note. And I like to just start out playing it on the first note of the beat of the chord, the first time through. So I'm going to let it go through. I'll play the exercise. And you may want to, I'll put the backing track in the link to the video. And you may want to slow this backing track down a bit to start it out, and eventually you'll get it to much faster than this as well, but when you get comfortable. But let's try this one time through. So the first time we're going to do is play a C, and try and mix it up just a little bit, but eventually you'll get comfortable doing that, okay? So let's try it. Okay, so that's the speed of it. Okay, so now C, A, F, G, C, A, F, G, C, A, F, G, C, A, F, G. Get the picture. C, A, F, G. Oops. Messed up there at the end there. All right. So you get the picture that, the more that you play this, the smoother it's going to get and the better it's going to get. And that's it. So where you take this exercise next is you move it up the fretboard. So once you're comfortable with that here, you move it here, and you can play the same thing. Once you're comfortable with it here, you can move it up here. You can move it down here. So you can do all of that in the key of C. The other thing that you can do then is to do it in a different key. So instead of doing it in the key of C, move it to the key of G, then to D, then to A, then to E, etc. Right? So go around maybe that whole cycle of fifths, or just pick out some keys that you like the key of C, the key of E, and so forth, and do that exercise. All right, so you can see that this is going to take some time to do. Give yourself a little bit of time. Play it very slowly if you need to, because it's easy to mess up. The idea is to get it into your ears, which are tones of that chord. What's the root of that chord when you're playing it, and to be able to eventually kind of see the relationships between all of those. All right? Super, super simple exercise, and it's a great way to start on your chord tones. If you know the caged positions, it's going to help a lot. If you don't know the caged positions, this is going to help to really frame out what those caged positions are. All right, good luck with this. Wish you luck, and have a little bit of fun with it. Don't do it too much because it'll drive you crazy. It's not the most fun exercise. I know that. Okay, see you on down the road.